Seated, come to order. Court is still in session.
Thank you. Thank you, Deputy Jones. Dr. Murray's case, the defendant is present with his counsel, the people by their counsel. Mr. Ortega once again is on the stand. All jurors and the alternates are present as well. And good afternoon again. Mr. Ortega, good afternoon again, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Do you acknowledge you are still under oath and still sworn to tell the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Resumption direct. Mr. Walgren?
Thank you. Your Honor, at this time I'd like to play footage from June 23rd, 2009, documenting the song The Way You Make Me Feel.
As People's 2?
People's 2, Your Honor.
People's 2. Overruled.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Ortega, have you previously identified this particular track I'm about to play, this particular performance, The Way You Make Me Feel, as the one that was performed on June 23rd, 2009?
Yes.
Can you have the lights dim, please?
Yes, we will. I don't know about more than that series. Do you want the other bang?
Wait, that's probably good.
Is that okay with the jurors? I can hardly see you. All right. Thank you.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
Mr. Ortega, I'm going to just play this straight through, and then I may have some follow-up questions of you. One question would be, where's the mute button? Let me, apologize, Your Honor, it was muted earlier.
Say it again.
There'll be a fan right there at the off the stage for you. Boom, right there.
Mr. Ortega, the rehearsal performance we just saw, that is from June 23rd?
Yes.
Okay. And the dancers that Michael is performing with, what is their average age?
18 to 24.
And did that video clip there accurately reflect Michael's kind of demeanor, overall demeanor that night as you described on June 23rd?
That night, yes.
Okay. And off camera, there was, at the end, there was a voice being heard. It sounded like your voice. Was that you?
Yes.
Okay. And at the point where Michael is speaking, and he appears to look behind him, and he says something, words to the effect of, "That's okay, that's why we rehearse." Did you hear that?
Yes.
To whom is he speaking? Do you know?
He's talking to the band leader.
Okay.
He's talking to Michael Bearden, the band leader.
Okay. There was some mistake made or something, and he said, "That's okay, that's why we rehearse"?
Yes, there were a few bars of music that should have been there and they weren't, and Michael was asking them for them back.
Okay. I want to go now to June 24th. If I could have the lights again, please.
Thank you.
And I do have one question, Mr. Ortega. This performance from June 24th, 2009 of Earth Song, was this in fact Michael's last performance of any kind on stage?
It was a rehearsal, and it was his last rehearsal.
May I proceed, Jonah?
Come in.
What have we done to the world? Look what we've done. What about all the peace that you pledged your only son? What about flowering fields? Is there a time? What about all the dreams that you said was yours and mine? Did you ever stop to notice all the children dead from war? Did you ever stop to notice this crying earth as we make sure? I used to dream, I used to glance beyond the stars. Now I don't know where we are, although I know
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Mr. Ortega, in regard to what we just observed, Earth Song on June 24th, so that was the last rehearsal, meaning the last time Michael was up on stage performing that night?
Yes.
Following that rehearsal performance of Earth Song that night, what happened, if you recall?
Michael stepped off the stage and joined me in the arena, and together we watched the next part of rehearsal together. Travis Payne stepped on stage for Michael, and we ran Heal the World so that Michael could look at the lighting elements, the scenic elements, the staging.
Okay. And you had referenced earlier a conversation with Michael about asking, are you happy, very happy, and talking about the tour. Was Where in time did that take place?
During the rehearsal of Heal the World, I was explaining, breaking it down for Michael as to how we were going to fully imagine it. And so he was looking at the stage, not only looking at the rehearsal that was in front of us, but imagining things that were still to come.
Okay.
And then that's when we had our conversation after the number.
Okay. And lastly, Mr. Ortega, in your conversations with Michael, did you and Michael discuss plans, professional plans, touring plans, beyond this tour that the two of you hope to engage in?
Yes.
Can you describe what you discussed as far as future plans, even beyond or as part of the This Is It tour?
Michael had hoped that after the London dates that he'd be able to take This Is It out into the world, perhaps even bringing it into the United States, and that after that he wanted to make movies.
Okay, and did you specifically discuss that with him?
Yes, I did.
And what movies did he want to make?
He invited me to join him as a co-director to full-length feature film of Thriller, and also the Legs Diamond story, which was based on his Smooth Criminal short film.
And these discussions you had actually contemplated pursuing those endeavors following the tour?
We didn't get into the details that early, but it was just an invitation and a hope.
By both of you?
And a future, yeah, surely.
Thank you, sir. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Well, thank you. Cross-examination, please. Mr. Chernoff?
Mr. Ortega, how are you today?
Mr. Chernoff, thank you.
It's good seeing you again.
Thank you, sir.
I want to go straight to June 20th, the meeting at the house, at Michael Jackson's house. This was at the Carrollwood residence where he resided, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And we have seen this email that was put up on the screen, and you read for us. That email was sent prior, obviously, to the meeting being scheduled?
Yes.
Yes. Prior to sending the email to Randy Phillips, did you speak to him on the phone about what had happened on June 19th?
No.
So this was just an email that you sent cold, essentially, just this is how I feel about certain things that are happening at this particular point in time with regard to the show?
Yes.
And you had said that the meeting that was scheduled at the Carrollwood residence, you found out from your assistant. Did you happen to know whether or not it was Paul Gongaware who scheduled this meeting?
You know, I thought it was, but I'm not certain, sir.
To your knowledge, was this meeting scheduled by Dr. Murray?
It could have been.
Could have been?
I wasn't told who the meeting was scheduled by. I was just invited to the meeting.
It could have been scheduled by Randy Phillips as
It
well.
could have been,
Is
yes.
that right?
Yes.
Would you agree that one of the conversations that you were going to have, one of the reasons for having this meeting was to discuss these missed rehearsals?
Pardon me?
One of the reasons that you were having this meeting, one of the reasons that you understood that you were having this meeting was to discuss Michael Jackson's missed rehearsals.
That wasn't brought up to me.
Well, your email talks about playing tough love, right? Pulling the plug. Was it your understanding that what you're referring to was perhaps some resolution to the problem of Michael Jackson's missed rehearsals?
Yeah, what my comments were based on meetings that probably occurred before this night where Michael was informed that we had to get serious about coming to rehearsals.
You said that the meeting on the 20th was designed specifically, or resulted, well, let me change that. The June 20th meeting was not the only meeting that was held at Michael Jackson's house regarding missed rehearsals, correct?
Probably not.
Probably not. Are you guessing, or do you
Well, I
know?
wasn't at another one.
Right. Are you aware of another meeting that was held at Michael Jackson's house?
Not aware of it, but again, most likely there was one, because I know that Dr. Murray was creating a schedule now for Michael to try to help resolve the problem of Michael missing rehearsals.
Well, you had testified that the schedule that Dr. Murray was creating was as a result of the week before his death. are you saying that the schedule he was creating was as a result of a meeting before that, before the 20th?
I think that the result of the schedule was to try to help us.
Yeah, well, I understand that. Let me ask you this. Who asked Dr. Murray to prepare a schedule for Michael Jackson?
I have no idea.
The objection sustained,
You,
the partial answers disregarded. Assumes facts not in evidence. Go ahead.
Got you, Judge. Thank you. Is it possible that this schedule that was created by Dr. Murray was created weeks prior?
Objection calls for speculation.
Sustained.
Do you know when Dr. Murray was asked to create this schedule?
I don't know if he was asked or if he offered. I just know that it was truly an attempt to try to help arrive us at a schedule that would work for Michael.
Prior to this June 20th email that was sent to Randy Phillips, had you expressed concern about Michael Jackson's missed rehearsals?
Yes.
And would it be fair that you expressed your concerns earlier than the last week before his death?
Yes.
And these missed rehearsals, these were at the Staples Center and also at the Forum?
I don't believe we started the Staples Center yet, sir. I believe they were from the Forum.
What was your impression, Mr. Ortega, of why Michael Jackson was missing these rehearsals?
Objection calls for speculation.
Sustained.
Well, you have already testified to Michael Jackson's state of mind. Do you think that he was missing these rehearsals just because he was tired or lazy?
Objection calls for speculation.
Sustained.
Did you ever have a conversation with anybody about why he was missing these rehearsals?
Yes.
Who did you have that conversation
I had
with?
conversations with a few people about, trying to find out why he wasn't showing up to rehearsals.
One of those people was Randy Phillips,
Yes.
Paul Gongaware,
Yes.
Frank DeLeo.
Probably not Frank.
Mr. Ortega, in your email, when you talk about it would break his heart if we pulled the plug, is this a conversation that you had with Randy Phillips, or that Randy Phillips had with you about pulling the plug?
No, it was based on me as the director of the production, sir, having real concerns that, real questions as to whether or not we were going to be able to make the goals without Michael.
If the plug had been pulled on Michael Jackson, what impact would it have on him personally?
Well, I think creatively he would have been devastated if he really wanted to do this tour.
What about professionally?
Professionally, I'm sure it would have not been a good thing.
Michael Jackson, you said you worked on the Dangerous Tour with Michael
Yes.
Jackson. And what year was that?
1991,
And you also worked on the History Tour.
yes.
And what year was that?
96 approximately.
To your knowledge, did Michael Jackson have any tours after the History Tour?
I know he did perform in a New York engagement. I don't think he had any tours, but I believe that he performed on an occasion, once or twice.
So the last time that Michael Jackson had a series of shows, a tour, so to speak, was in 1996?
Was the History Tour.
The meeting that you had on June 20th at Michael Jackson's house, you described the conversation that you had with Dr. Murray. Would you consider it adversarial, the conversation with Dr. Murray?
Can you rephrase that, sir?
Were you fighting? Was it adversarial?
No.
Were you?
No.
No. You mentioned 2 or 3 statements that Dr. Murray said to you and you said to Dr. Murray. Was there anything else that was said besides those statements you've already testified to?
There could have been.
Could have been. Do you remember any of those statements?
Well, I just remember that Dr. Murray was saying one thing to me, and what Dr. Murray was saying to me was not exactly what had occurred.
Were you?
And
Allow the witness to finish his answer.
And at one point, Dr. Murray looked to Michael, because I think Michael was his source of information, and he was looking to Michael like Michael had said one thing, but in fact I was saying another. And so there was a moment of clarity, which was based around that, his assumption that I had taken Michael off, not allowed Michael to rehearse, and sent him home, and which I, clarified earlier wasn't the case.
And you were not privy to the conversations that Dr. Murray and Michael Jackson had prior to your arrival?
No.
You do not know what Michael Jackson might have told Dr. Murray about the encounter the night before?
No.
How long was this meeting, Mr. Ortega?
Not long.
Could you estimate for us?
Pardon me?
Would you estimate for us how long?
I would guess that I was in the room for about 10 minutes.
Is it your testimony today that the entire meeting lasted 10 minutes?
The portion of the meeting that I was involved in, because I left before everybody else left, felt brief.
Why did you leave before everyone else?
Because that's all I was called for, was that conversation.
Do you recall talking to Karen Fay? First of all, you know who Karen Fay is, correct?
I do.
Who is Karen Fay?
Michael's hair and makeup artist.
All right, and she was the hair and makeup artist on the This Is It rehearsal?
Yes.
Do you recall telling Karen Fay that you read Michael Jackson, well, let me finish, you might remember it, that you read Michael Jackson, The Riot Act?
No.
Do you remember telling Karen Fay directing Karen Fay not to placate Michael Jackson?
I remember Karen Fay being there on the night of the 20th and being as concerned as I was and everyone else that was in that small circle. I remember seeing Karen Fay coming back on the Tuesday.
Non-responsive.
Sustain. The answer is sir. Disregard the answer. Refine the question, please.
Let me ask you again, Mr. Ortega.
Yeah.
Did you tell Karen Fay not to placate Michael Jackson?
I would never have used that word, sir.
Well, did you tell her not to placate Michael Jackson and used a different word?
I might have told Karen Fay that Michael told me he was taking the reins and that he could use our support.
So the answer is no, you didn't tell her that.
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
Would you agree with me that your success was somewhat tied to Michael Jackson's success and This Is It?
Don't understand the question.
Well, if This Is It was a successful show, that would certainly reflect upon you as well as Michael
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
So when you talk about Michael Jackson having a desire to complete This Is It, to do This Is It, you also had that same desire.
Sure.
And would you agree with me that without Michael Jackson showing up to rehearsals, that would impact you personally as well as Michael Jackson individual?
It would impact everyone.
Including you.
It would make it impossible for me to do my job.
And that was important to you doing your job.
That's what I was there for.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
You talked about Michael Jackson being involved in the production of This Is It. Is that correct?
Yes.
He was not just involved, he was very involved in the production, correct?
Yes.
He wasn't just co-choreographer or co-director in name only. It wasn't an honorary title, right?
No.
He was intimately involved in the decision-making.
Yes.
In fact, you mentioned a particular, was it a 3D effect that he himself had come up with? Is that right? It was
Yes.
his idea.
I don't know if it was his idea, but it came to me from Michael.
But you had never even seen it used before in a stage show.
No.
That was his idea. Would it be fair to say that he was involved?
I don't know if that's a question or a comment.
Thank you. Would it be fair to say that Michael Jackson was involved in all of the effects that were involved in the show?
Are you talking about 3D effects?
No, did he have a hand in all of the effects,
Oh,
the
he wa-
ideas,
Yes, absolutely.
certainly the choreography,
Yes,
the songs?
yes,
He was the boss.
yes,
It was his show.
yes.
And he told you that this was his time. This was it for him. Is that right?
Yes,
And what you understood him to mean by that is he understood the historical significance of what he was about to do.
yes.
You had mentioned that at the conclusion of these shows, that Michael Jackson was planning movies? Is that
Yes.
right? And at the conclusion of these shows, he was also, you had discussed with him, taking the show on the road, taking it on tour.
He had talked about it, yes.
That was something you had talked about.
He talked to me about it.
That was his plan.
Yes, it's hope.
Okay. On the June 19th rehearsal, would it be fair to say that Jackson's condition scared you?
Yes.
Had you ever seen him that way before?
No.
On any occasion during the rehearsals for This Is It, did it ever strike you that Michael Jackson might have been on drugs? Might have been drugged?
Yes.
Did you, had you ever met or personally known a man by the name of Dr. Arnold Klein?
No. Didn't know him, knew who he was, but didn't know him.
How did you know who he was?
Just knew him as a doctor.
You had been introduced to him?
No.
You had heard about him?
Yes.
Can you tell us where you had heard about him?
Saying 350, 352.
When you first met Dr. Murray, you said that it was at Michael Jackson's residence. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you said that you had seen him at a rehearsal at the Forum
Dr.
Center.
Murray at a rehearsal?
Yes.
I believe, yes, once.
Once. You did not. You testified you did not believe you saw him at the Staples Center at all,
I don't recall.
but you do remember once at the Forum.
Yes.
Did you have any conversation with Dr. Murray?
Yes, I did.
All right. And did you initiate that conversation?
I was invited to call on Dr. Murray if I ever needed any assistance, if there was any ever problems with the schedule.
And he seemed concerned about Michael Jackson?
Yes.
And did you take him up on that invitation?
Yes.
Did you take his phone number?
Yes.
Dr. Murray at some point made suggestions. Were you part of the meeting where Dr. Murray made suggestions about Michael Jackson's schedule?
He brought those suggestions to me.
And you recall that one of the suggestions that he made is that Michael Jackson should be permitted to have lunch with his children. He should be able to stay home for lunch. And
Yes.
the rehearsals then, at that time, were much earlier than they ultimately wound up being.
No.
Do you recall any conversation with Dr. Murray about the diet that Michael Jackson was on, the foods that he was eating, his particular...
I don't recall a conversation about that, sir.
Tell us, you had said that the rehearsals went from Burbank, center stage, to the Forum. And I don't think I heard exactly when you said that move happened. Can you tell us when exactly it went to the Forum?
At the beginning of June,
Beginning of June. In May, the rehearsals were still at the center stages
Yes.
at Burbank. And you told us that at center stages that you and Michael Jackson had creative meetings, and I guess you talked about what you were going to have in the show and things of that nature?
Oh, yes.
Was that through May and through April?
Yes, beginning in April and through May.
And as you moved to the Forum, then would it be fair to say that the rehearsals became a little more active? There was show rehearsals on stage?
Yes.
With Michael Jackson and the
More
dancers?
people were incorporated into the body of rehearsals at that time.
And when you moved to the Staples Center, even more things were incorporated into the show, like effects, magic acts, things of that?
Yes, yes.
I want to bring your attention to the week prior to Michael Jackson's death, and I'm going to tell you that Monday on that week was June 15th. Now, is that how you remember it? Do you know?
I don't remember that Monday was June 15th, but...
Okay. That week of June 14th, June 15th, 2009, the rehearsals were scheduled at the Staples Center. Is that correct?
We weren't, I don't believe we're at the Staples Center yet, sir. We were at the Forum.
Still?
Yes.
Well, June 15th through June 19th would be Monday through Friday. When did you move to the Staples Center?
I think we moved to the Staples Center like the Tuesday or the Monday or over that weekend.
So
I'm guessing that because we were going to be at the Staples Center just for 2 weeks, and we were at the Forum for a longer period of time.
well, the following Tuesday would be the 23rd or 22nd of June.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying that the week that Michael Jackson died is the first week that you moved to the Staples Center?
I think so.
So you had exactly 2 rehearsals at the Staples Center?
At the Staples Center, that's what I'm guessing, sir. I don't have a calendar in front of me, and I don't recall exactly, but I think it was a short period of time that we were at the Staples Center.
All right. Now, there was, during these rehearsals, and we've seen this video, these rehearsals were actually videotaped, were recorded. Is that right?
These rehearsals were videotaped, yes.
And so were the rehearsals from June 15th through June 19th.
If Michael was there, we were recording per his request. If Michael wasn't there, we didn't necessarily have a video camera running.
Well, is your testimony today that if Michael was not there, you simply did not record?
I didn't have any reason to. Michael recorded rehearsals for his own benefit. You know, no one photographed or recorded rehearsals until we had our actual cameras that were going to be used for the IMAG screens, which came late at the Forum or early at the Staples Center. So there were no other people recording other than when Michael requested recording.
Mr. Ortega, after the death of Michael Jackson, you were hired to help edit videotape for the movie This Is It.
Yes.
You were hired by Sony Pictures.
Yes.
And you sat in a room at Sony Pictures for 2 months?
Yes.
Editing this videotape.
Yeah, we had video footage that was taken, interviews of the band and the dancers and the singers that was going to be used for a later behind the scenes of a filming of This Is It in London at some point. So there was that, yes, sir.
And this videotape that you edited, that you reviewed, had date stamps on them. They were labeled by the date.
Yeah. I'm
So-
not quite sure what you're getting
Well,
at.
I'm going to sustain the objection, the partial answer stricken disregard.
Well, here's what I'm getting at. You reviewed all the rehearsals. You spent 2 months reviewing all the rehearsals. But you don't remember where the rehearsals were had the week before his death?
I believe, as I mentioned to you already, that we were at the Forum until the end of the month and then moved for a week into the Staples.
On June 19th, there is videotape that exists, is there not, of Michael Jackson sitting on a chair with a blanket wrapped around his shoulders? Have you seen that videotape?
I haven't.
You are aware that on June 18th, the day before Michael Jackson did not show up.
Just allow the question to be asked in its entirety before imposing an objection. Go ahead.
On June 18th, Michael Jackson missed his rehearsal. He didn't show up. Is that right?
It's most likely, yeah.
Why is it most likely?
Well, he was missing for a period of about a week. So I'm not exactly sure what day or what date, but he was missing for a period of about a week in that area, sir.
All right, thank you. May I have just a second, Judge?
You may, please.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ortega.
Thank
That's all
you,
I have.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Redirect examination, Mr. Walgan.
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. May Mr. Ortega step down, subject to recall, Mr. Walgan?
Yes, please, Your
Turn
Honor.
off.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Ortega, I want to thank you for your testimony. Please do not discuss your testimony or the facts of the case as you know them with any other witness until we finish the trial. You may step down and leave. However, you are to remain on call, which means you're subject to recall up until the end of the case. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You can take the cup of water as well. Thank you. Mr. Walgan, your next witness, please.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. People call Paul Gongaware.
Thank you. Ms. Brazil, you will be conducting direct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.